Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. This is Renegade Operative here, and I'd like to welcome you to a Cooperative Experience 1-year anniversary introduction video. Now, even though we're getting a personal interview in the future, or at least we're going to, in the sense that we're going to celebrate this video as a multi-tier video in our anniversary, I'd like to give you an opener, a little taste of what's in store for our 4-tier video, which will feature the following. Number 1, the opening introduction. Number 2, an interview with the host. Number 3, an interview with the regulars and the progression of the group. Number 4, individual recordings for our new bloods and how they feel about the TCP. So allow me to begin the introduction. My name is Renegade Operative, and I personally started this podcast account back in 2005. The intention was to create a branch of content where only the gamers played and the players rejoiced, with a community that made them feel welcome to talk about gaming news. As the Cooperative podcast progressed, we slowly adapted to the times, and the mission plan itself to make the experience fun as possible while keeping you entertained in the process was part of the agenda. The more I searched, the more I found more permanent hosts in the form of Captain Chaos and BioDevil Dom. These are two intelligent and wonderful individuals who stepped up to the plate, who stepped up to the mantle, along with the other regulars who wanted to help the content flourish with diversity. Getting help is the right phrase because mostly those who have provided something to the channel, something to the group, found somewhere to be as a good haven for friends and opportunities. I think those people will be valuable down the road and almost irreplaceable as we mingle them with newer individuals. As a group, we had our ups and downs, but one consistency for the channel is to make entirely sure that we stay on task with the content we're supplementing while reacting to the gaming world and how it's evolving around us. Influences, okay, influences. Everyone has an influence, and there's clear influences on the cooperative experience. Namely, I've been a part of podcasts for like roughly 2 years now. I've been doing a lot of podcasts, and initially I wanted to bring more variety to the table than just your standard average Joe podcast each week. So, one big influence for me is Comic Book Cast. I love CBC, I love Armin, no homo, because it's a channel that covers a multitude of things with a lot of other people hosting. And I like that. I like that because I want to pass the torch. I like that because it gives other people a time to shine. I like the fact that the content remains the same, but with new people. And I like the fact that he's bringing his friends on board, people who he trusts, to take the board, take the mantle, and grow as a network, to grow together. And that's one of my notable bases for the cooperative experience community and structure. All you have is to enjoy the content. And all you have is to enjoy this from various individuals around the world, various individuals besides me, and I really like that fact. A final influence for me would be Broken Games HD, and the way I'm talking about this is I'm talking about my own personality and my own attachments to projects and my own business-like stature when it comes to whatever is on my mind. So Broken Games HD is a good inspiration because he talks about whatever's on his mind, but he's also an entrepreneur. And being like that is also vital to the gaming world, the real world, and just life in general. You have to be a figure that a lot of people can probably look up to, and you have to be a figure that could probably strike a deal that can get things going, someone that has some influence. And I feel a lot of his methods inspired me not only as a gamer, but as someone who is conducting a lot of professionalism behind the scenes. Hence why we have a lot of big time voice actors coming on board with us. This is something that didn't happen overnight. This is something that happened because I approached these people with the right mentality and the right mindset, and I remained positive throughout the experience. You don't have to get rowdy 24/7. You don't have to get angry. You don't have to be like you kick a tire each day. You have to talk and think like a proper human being to entice others to join your podcast sometimes. And in the end, I really just love this group. None of that is going to change for the world, and I will keep uploading content on this page until the day I quit, which won't be anytime soon. In the meantime, we have plans. We're going to be putting out a lot of group polls, and the cinematic experience of Gamer, along with this interview, will be part of the 1-year anniversary for the TCP because you guys voted on Gamer, and I haven't forgotten. So we have a lot of planned activities that you guys have a lot of control of, and I'll keep you guys well informed. Until then, this is Renegade Operative signing off. Peace out, and hopefully you enjoyed the first tier video for the TCP anniversary special. Enjoy, and it's coming in September 2016. See you there. So there's two things I would like to illustrate really quickly. Number one is I didn't talk as much as I would have liked to because there was a lot of background noise, so I apologize in advance. But these guys pretty much take over, so yeah. And number two is that there is basically an integration here of tiers 2 and tiers 3, so hopefully you enjoy that and hopefully you enjoy this podcast. Once again, take care and I will see you for tier 4. Alright, so greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the first anniversary of the TCP podcast. We have some delightful guests here, some regulars and co-hosts, so I'd like them to introduce themselves. So, Mr. Bio Double Dom, introduce yourself, because they're a Sleepy Double Dom.
Yeah, Sleepy Bio Devil once again returning. I'm back. Hi. Can't wait to talk about this first anniversary, right?
Yep.
Yeah, let's make this as awkward as possible.
So, Captain Chaos, could you introduce yourself, please?
Yo, what's going on, guys? How's it going? Glad to be here.
Brandon? Akuma Lover.
Brandon died.
Brandon's rip.
Oh, what a motherfucker. So, Mr. Reapers, introduce yourself.
It's me, Reapers. You know what is the best TCP member in the group.
That's a fucking lie.
I
So,
got an Andy for it.
Hey. We can all just agree that the custom emotes are the greatest things ever made. Let's.
They don't work here, unfortunately.
They don't. That's the thing that sucks. I wish you can just have them, like, if you have them, they should just work in general. Yeah.
Mr. James?
How's it going, guys? You already know who it is. Not Reaper, it's James, yeah. Titan Master Flex.
AKA Hatred Guy. Kappa.
Alright.
Kill everyone and everything. I hate this world.
Oh, you missed your intro. There you are. So, go ahead,
I'm
Brendan.
sorry, we're live?
Yeah, we're live.
Oh, okay, well, hi. Hello, everybody.
Yeah.
Anniversary.
I gotta.
Shut up, you whore.
I just want to ask something really quick, just out of curiosity. How come every time we record something, you're always like away? Like,
Who, me?
I've noticed that. Yeah.
No. Reasons. Carry on.
Alright. And last but not least, Mr. Kanegi.
Fuck you guys! Not kidding. I'm just joking.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
Alright, so this is a little bit later than predicted. So we have some late night questions for this anniversary. We do it late. We slap the hookers.
Do it live.
Do it live. So,
Did you just say, "Well, slap the hookers"?
oh yeah, I did. That is for the record books.
If you're ever in a strip club and you just see some hooker get slapped, you know that's renegade.
He's got to keep the pimp hand strong.
Yes, I do.
Except
He's
for the
the
only.
pimp from fucking Luke Cage.
Oh,
The
fucking
only
Cottonmouth.
difference is he's not Luke Cage, so he can't take a hit.
Oh, fuck
Hey,
off,
Pimp
dumb.
named Slickback.
Alright, so let's get into this document real quick. We have question number 1. What was your humble beginnings with the TCP, and how did you join the group, and how do you feel about it 1 year later? So, who wants to take that first?
I
can
guess
go
I'll go
first.
first.
Oh. Go ahead.
Well, no, you go first, Dom.
Okay, fine. Basically, I had joined in after Brandon gave like a good word out for me, and some of the other members from the Biodevils group. I don't remember exactly how I came in here, but I know that I wasn't really active initially. It wasn't until like after I started like coming on to the podcasts when I decided to start coming on more. I think
Yeah, we forced
that
you to
was-
come.
No, that's not true. But
Yes, we did. We had
no.
hog taught you down.
No. Okay. let me explain. Okay. But I think the one thing, as far as like myself just constantly coming on though, is just that I saw it as a way to, like learn as far like have it as a learning experience for my own podcast because it was much different compared to mine, at least initially. And I think at the end of the day, what I enjoy out of it was just the fact that I've been able to meet so many different people and whatnot, and just speak with them about a common thing. So overall, I feel like after one whole year, it's just been a great experience, and I hope that that can continue for years to come. So yeah.
Yeah, for me, I remember like a while ago, because I was subscribed to Renegade for a while because of the whole, well, you know who stuff. But I heard he was, talking about the cooperative experience and, trying to start a new podcast group and all that. So I thought that was interesting. I think my friend Levy the Amish Man actually introduced me to you guys, if I remember correctly. He kind of put a good word in for me, and I became part of the group. I started being on as a regular. I was on podcasts a few times, and and then the whole situation with who happened. So I stepped up to the plate. I asked. I told Renegade if he needs someone to be a co-host, I can definitely fill that role. So that's pretty much how I became co-host of the podcast, and I've been on ever since. I'm friendly with most of the people in the group. I've felt, I'm trying to be as active as I can be. And, I've had a lot of fun in the group. I've had a lot of fun with the podcast we've been doing. And, I found a lot of the topics pretty interesting and easy to talk about. So, I hope we can, like Tom said, continue to have that kind of fun in the future and find interesting stuff to talk about. Really awesome people to interview. I'll have to give credit to Reapers for that because he's been finding us, like voice actors. Never, like I said, I never thought I'd be interviewing voice actors, but that is a huge opportunity. So I never would have gotten that had I not been a part of this group. So thank you guys for the fun times. It's been awesome, and I hope we can continue.
What about
Amen.
you, Mr. Reapers?
I guess I'll go next. Well, my experience is kind of interesting, considering that we first talked to Renegade, during a Democrat 3 live stream by Dom, and it was really good, It was interesting talking to him, getting to know him, considering I've been following him for a good long time. So, yeah, so he pitched the idea of me joining TCP. I'm like, sure, I would join. And it took me at least a day or so to just at least come into a call. And as soon as I did, I felt right at home because everybody was chill, cracking up, making jokes, same stuff we do now. And then eventually I pulled Dom, James, and others in, I did put in a word in for James, and the rest of them. I tell you guys gotta join, they're really cool. Trust me. I know it seems like a big group, but these guys are really chill and whatnot. So, things worked out. I became a regular in like less than a week, and things worked out for the best. And I heard that Renegade.
I know you did, Pete. So, how about Mr. Reapers goes next?
All right, I'm not gonna do anything really too fancy. All right, there I was in my room smoking a cigarette, relaxing. And I was on Twitter, just as you do, just looking up some lewds, stuff like that.
Some lewds.
As you do
Man,
on Twitter.
At least he's honest.
So I was there just relaxing. I don't smoke, by the way. Don't tobacco's wacko.
Totally vapes.
I got a message. I got a DM, and it was Renegade Operative. He was like, "Hey, man, you want to join this podcast, this group that I'm a part of, and blah blah blah." He was like, "Oh, I know you'd be great. You'd probably be like the best guy in here." Number one, and I was like, "Oh man, this is tempting." So I thought about it for like a second. I was like, "Yeah, I joined." At first, I wasn't really talkative because I had a roommate that was kind of fucking loud and rowdy, and it was kind of bad to be on calls and hearing that bullshit in the background. But eventually I did away with that whole thing, and I'm in my own room now, so now I can talk freely and whatnot. And I've was chosen by Ren, obviously, because I'm so great, like I said earlier, to be to
Flying
be
through
a
his teeth.
to be a regular, and so here I am. But I feel like this group really helped me feel more confident about myself. I always felt, confident, but just not as much as I do now, because I've always thought it was really incredible that I was able to get these interviews with famous voice actors, semi-famous, sometimes super famous. It felt really great to be able to just go in and just shoot a question, talk for a bit, and then just have them to be interested. And here we are now talking to a whole bunch of people that we didn't think ever that we would ever talk to people like that, but we ended up doing it. And I feel like this group is going to grow to be huge because people are interested in hearing what these guys have to say. And, it's not that we're stuck on one topic and stuff like that. We always like to branch out. But that's pretty much how I joined the group.
All right, so how about you, Mr. Kaneki?
Oh, where do I even begin of how I joined this beautiful group here? Ren, did I recall last time when did I join this group? You had a Last of Us multiplayer session, whatever.
Oh yeah, that was really fun. We were just chilling, playing games and shit like that.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was a good time. I think that's how I actually joined your group, and then I met new people like Cetilius, Jane, all of you guys basically, and it's great to be in this group. And I hope this group does get bigger because as of now, it is getting bigger with new people, new members, and yeah, I'm really enjoying this group.
Alright, so mine is going to be short, but obviously I created the group. I went around finding these talented individuals and going around and scouting. That's what I did. My goal in general was to find people who had the same diverse opinions as I did, who could have fun, who could talk jokes, who could just have a laugh and get into the gaming experience. My goal still is to keep that sort of format, but now we've started to like diverge into tons of new things like comic books, like interviews, like all this stuff that is really fantastic. So it's all a group effort. It really is all a group effort, and I think that having these guys on board is just a great experience. To have this ability to be a host of the podcast and a host of the group, and to have these people build onto it is just quite fantastic in my opinion. So I'm glad at the humble beginnings. I know it wasn't easy, but I'm glad to have all these people here. They really impress and inspire me to become better. So I'm kind of glad that I have all you gentlemen here, and it has been a blast to have you. So in terms of the group growing, I do think that we're getting a little bit bigger. That has been very impressive. We're getting more people who wants to be on board with this. So that's what I'm looking forward to. Those passionate people out there who like to be a part of the experience, and that's what it's all about.
I definitely agree with that.
Did James go?
No, not
I don't
yet.
think so.
Do I sound okay?
Yep.
I think Brandon came to me one day after I think Ren spoke to us on Twitter, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Brandon kind of just put in the word for me, Dom, and a few others in their group. And it took me a while to adjust that for use with Skype because I didn't really bother with it much. But I got used to it, and so I don't remember when I became a regular. Only Ren did tell me that. But someone asked for me. I don't think it was myself. I think it was just offered to me, but yeah, I fit right in. So I'm pretty happy to be here, and things have been going really well. Go on.
Also, I gave you the recommendation of being a regular. So.
I knew it wasn't me. I asked about it. But I'm happy I'm a regular because I get to, talk about personal stuff and hang out more. So yeah, I love you jackasses, and I wouldn't be as happy as I am without you guys.
I need to ask because I completely forgot to mention this. How did I get to the point where we decided that I should be the host or one of the co-hosts?
I think we got to that point because I asked people, we're looking for co-hosts because we're trying to get people who are more involved with the group to step up in terms of like hosting capabilities, like recordings, like podcasts. So I went around and I asked a few people, and I remember that you and Chaos were the two that stuck around that said you would do this stuff. So that's the type of stuff that I was looking for. I was looking for those people who wanted to step up to the plate in terms of being a co-host. So I think it just came naturally after all the stuff you guys were doing with the podcast, and I think your experience with Bio Devils as well, since you had experience with another podcast, it sort of transitioned over. I think it all turned out well in the end, actually.
I've never actually co-hosted a podcast at all before, so this is definitely a new experience for me, but I feel like I've gotten a little bit better at it. At least I hope so.
Yeah. I think everything is starting to turn out well, so I think we can move on to the next question, which is number 2. So, Dom, you want to take that one?
Yeah. How has the experience been for how we connected with new people within the group? I would say, we've it's definitely been a kind of like a mixed bag. There are those occasions where we've had, certain individuals, which I'm not going to say any names, but that were kind of questionable, or that, would overall probably bring the group down as far as the amount of like negativity and stuff. But all that aside, we've definitely have been, especially recently too, have been finding a lot of people that have been very, positive, very, wanting to get involved with the group and whatnot, and very just, really cool and chill people. You can really have a nice civil discussion about gaming related topics, So I think so far, at least for the last couple of months, it's been going progressively even better as far as I'm concerned, at least, where we're constantly getting, new people that are always like interested in trying to get involved and whatnot, and wanting to join in on various pieces of content that we do.
Yeah, I think it's great. We've gotten a lot of new people. Like, Ren's always scouting for new people, and most of the people we've gotten who are new have been, pretty cool. So it's always great to expand and grow the I guess community we're trying to create here.
So who else wants to go? I kind of want to wait a little bit before my turn.
We've got our ups and downs with people, but I think it's been pretty damn positive.
Yeah, we're a bit more consistent with it. So.
I'll always say there's always a few bad eggs mixed with the good, so take what you get.
Yeah.
There's a lot of unexpected people we've gotten that have been pretty cool too.
Yeah, really, just chill people. Like, I guess if I had a name to say, it would be Noel. The other Noel, first Noel. He is really, chill. I only got the opportunity to talk with him once, but I hope to get him on the podcast someday. It's people like that are really diversified with their gaming. They could tell a lot of good jokes too. Like, he was really invested into the stuff we were talking about. So that sort of attention is the stuff that we were looking for. I think that, like you guys have been saying, like, it's a downward spiral of some bad members, like, just sort of trying to bring the group down, but there are some good members as well trying to bring the group up. And it's mostly been positive from there. So I think we're past that point of just having a lot of members in general that were dissatisfactory to us. And I think that now we're on the point of having people come in and talk to us and be very, very relaxed and chill. So I am enjoying the progress. It's great progress. Hopefully we keep it up. And if any other problems happen, we'll handle it. So that's how I feel about that.
I also want to add on to the point, because you were saying that you didn't really speak with Noel. The first Noel, I will go out of my way and say that he was definitely great on the BioDevils podcast when we had him on. Very very like involved with like the topics that we had on hand and stuff like that, and really got into the conversation and just try to add on as much as he possibly could, which was great.
Yeah,
Right.
he was really good. So what do you think about this, Reaper?
Well, I fucking hate the group. The group sucks. Everybody fucking
Get out, bitch.
all these new people need to fucking get out.
Salt?
But no, I mean, the new people are really cool. I really enjoyed meeting all these new people, guys and girls, just that are interested in gaming like we are. It's really a breath of fresh air every time we get a new person in. I mean, I love the guys that we have already. Don't get me wrong, I love all you guys. But, having new people in there really gives you a broader idea of how far gaming is. Everybody has their different likes and dislikes. We do get people that, tend to basically have a mask. They end up being good. They're cool at first, but then slowly but surely the mask comes off, and you get that person you weren't really expecting, and it doesn't really work out. It's kind of like a relationship, you meet the person, it all seems cool, but then once you're like kind of in there, they start to show who they truly are, and you kind of have to.
What do you mean you don't have any money?
You kind of decide, what's best for you, what's best for the group, and we always try to do things civilly, correct, respectable as possible. That's kind of our motto in this group.
Yep.
And I feel like we really stick to it, even though sometimes people would say otherwise. But for me speaking for myself, I'd have to agree that we are the most respectable people in this gaming community. I want to say, not the whole gaming community, but the majority of it. And I feel like we are just a bunch of dudes just want to have fun, and we don't fuck with drama. We don't fuck drama. We're here to game, not fucking talk shit or get shit talk. That's pretty much it.
Yep. So unless Mr. Brandon wants to go, if he already didn't go already, also.
I really don't have much to add to this. You guys pretty much said it best. We got a lot of cool people. We unfortunately had a little bad people, and unfortunately some issues with ones we're close with. But no, that's bound to happen. But what can you do?
Alright, so I think we should move on to question number 3. So who wants to read that in the document?
I'll read it.
Go ahead.
Well, what has been your favorite piece of content to produce personally? It's for TCP, right?
Yes.
No, it's free.
Yes, it's for TCP.
I will say the episode discussions. Yeah, those are you could go in great detail about your favorite series and whatnot, and it's just great hearing people's different take on that particular series. Like, for example, we did on Infamous a while back, and that was really fun. Some weird jokes, thanks to Brian, but it happens.
I'd have to agree with that too. That's my favorite series personally because of like Brandon said, we can go in depth about like video games, TV shows. We're talking about Daredevil, and maybe soon. Do we have a date on when we're doing Jessica Jones? By the way,
That is tomorrow, and that's the preemptive strike.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, that too. Looking forward to that. Talking about that. Maybe sometime in the future, Luke Cage. So.
Yes.
Yeah. The new trailer's hype, by the way. But for me personally, I mean, I like the main podcast where we talk about gaming news. Definitely, it definitely helped improve the BioDevils podcast over time as we kept doing it. Because I think overall we were just kind of shooting ideas back and forth as to what we can do to improve it as we kept producing new episodes to the seasons. And I think with offshoots, I definitely really like the episodic discussion. If there was a particular favorite episode of the episodic discussion, I have a couple. Definitely the first one was my favorite because, it was talking about a topic that I don't think a lot of people would be very open to talking about, considering the game that we covered, which was Devil May Cry 2, and we talked specifically about the potential of a remake for that game. We had also done, like, I think we did Onimusha, we did Resident Evil 2 remake, we did Metal Gear Solid. So stuff like that was just a lot of fun because it's like Brandon said, you get very different perspectives on things, and it's really good because you can get on an in-depth discussion. It's not necessarily about agreeing or disagreeing about certain things. It's more about like throwing out some ideas there, and maybe hopefully some developer out there somehow got wind of like those particular discussions, and they took that as sort of like feedback or inspiration to maybe work on their own game or work on the next sequel, and we just don't even know about it yet. But that stuff was pretty good. And then recently we've been doing Cutting Room Floor, and I really like that because I like talking about stuff that kind of happens behind the scenes, like previous builds of games. Definitely like talking about concept art. I really like looking at like that sort of stuff. So I think we have, if we didn't do it already, I think we have Metal Gear Solid Rising that's coming up. We're going to be talking about that, I think.
Yep.
We didn't talk about it already.
That's going to be on October the 8th, I believe.
Right. So stuff like that, I definitely, like, and I think we already did Resident Evil 4, which was a lot of fun, and we were talking about all the other Resident Evil games because they all kind of had their own concepts, rather, not content, that either made their way into other games or just kind of disappeared into cutting room floors, I guess. So that for me has been, my favorite. Is overall the episodic discussion, and now the cutting room floor.
I think my favorite piece of content, I'm going to keep it simple, I think is the episode discussion because of the franchises, the amount of stuff we can talk about. Like, it's not just, it got expanded on. It's not just about franchises now. It's about franchises and consoles and video game developers. So it turned into this like huge spectrum of stuff to talk about, which is pretty cool. And I also think that the cutting room floor is interesting because, again, there's a lot of development history behind games that we really have lost. That's the stuff that I'm really interested in the most.
So, does anybody else want to go off of number 3, like maybe James or Reaper?
Let's see. My favorite piece of content is whatever I'm in. No, but for real, to be completely honest, my favorite piece of content is the TCP streams. I feel like whenever we have the whole group around watching each other play and giving each other tips, it's a lot of fun. Sometimes it's kind of frustrating because you're kind of delayed, and by the time someone gives you advice, it's already too late. You're already fucked up. Also, I like doing the podcast. The podcasts are really fun because you generally get a bunch of news that you've been dying to talk about, and have people listen to your opinion about it, and sometimes have some new people come in with new ideas and new opinions of topics that you wanted to talk about, and you kind of get their side of the story of it, which is really interesting in my opinion. So I guess those two would be my most favorite.
What about you, Kaneki? You want to go off, or should James go off first?
What has been my favorite piece of content?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, I got 3 actually. The cutting room floor is one of them. The one I like the most is whenever we do TCP streams that involve co-op. Like, for example, what was the last game we did co-op?
Was it? I think.
Oh yeah, that's definitely we should keep doing because I really enjoy that co-op because we'd be able to face people from around the world.
They all held low when Reapers joined us. Confirmed.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I guess the episodic roast. That's actually, I know it's more than 2, but yeah, that's actually one of my favorites too because that Money number 9 roast was beautiful. Beautiful roasting because that game, Garbage.
Metal Gear Survive will be this Saturday. Oh boy.
I'll make it come
Oh
Number of hours?
boy. Yeah, that.
Talking about Metal Gear Survive.
Yeah.
Konami
Oh,
trying to survive, you mean?
Wait, is that going to be like a discussion or
It's gonna be a roast.
a roast? Oh, okay.
But yeah, that's all I like so far.
So, I guess we can move on to question number, what is it, 4?
Yeah.
Yeah, so someone read that off, please.
I can take off number 4. How do you feel about your role and position within the group? I I like being a host. It's definitely a lot of fun. You know, there are times where I'm just like, oh, come on, not all of it should come to me, but at the same time, it's like, I kind of have that responsibility, so I do have to kind of provide an example, I guess, for the rest of the group to some degree. So yeah, but I would say that overall I like that particular spot. If I could, if I could recommend somebody to, maybe get up to host status, I think I'd probably recommend Reapers, just because he's helped out a lot with like getting the interviews set up and whatnot. And he's definitely like taken the mantle when it comes to like doing a lot of streams and stuff like that. So I would definitely say that he should be on host status eventually.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that.
Wait, I thought this was on our roll.
Yeah, kick him out.
But yeah, I would say I'm also pretty satisfied with host status. I try to do as much as I can. I try to do the backup recordings. I'm going to try to come up with some new ideas for maybe some episodic discussions or something. I want to try to be more active and participate a little bit more than I do. I know I don't stream enough on the TCP account. I'm going to try to do that more for October and do some horror games or something. But I'm mostly pretty satisfied with it. It's pretty good position to be in. I'm getting more used to the host, trying to host certain podcasts, and it's I remember Reapers mentioning before about how it's helped him be more confident, and his talking to people and just being more social. And I feel like it's also helped me out as a little bit as well. YouTube has helped a little bit with that, because I used to be a more quiet person, but having done YouTube for a while now, it's helped me out a lot with just being more social. And I feel like this group has also contributed quite a bit to helping me with just being confident, being generally social and all that. Don't mean to get sentimental or anything, but it's it has helped out quite a bit in that regard.
Stop your crying.
Who wants to go next?
I guess.
Do you want to go, Brandon?
Yeah, I'll go real quick.
All right.
As a regular, though, I'm quite satisfied with it, though. Man, I'm shooing for any podcast, really. But I wish I could do more, but I'm limited by technology and funds, of course. But no, I'm fine where I am. Also, Renegade, when did you tag us as TCP creators? Because I noticed that every time you tag that, we're popped up too. Curiosity.
It was when, I think it was a week ago, because of the new content creators that came in. Since they weren't supposed to be labeled as New Bloods anymore, it's kind of weird to label them as New Bloods over a month.
Right. All right, that's interesting. But no, that's fine. I'm fine with my role, so hopefully I could do more in the future. But that's all I can do. You can go, James.
I'm pretty comfy with being a regular. I don't really feel like I'm good for a host material. I don't really have the recording experience like Ren or Dom do, or Chaos for that matter. I feel like my best place as a regular is doing a lot of graphic work. I think, well, if you guys have followed me on Twitter, you already know I do a lot of stuff for pretty much nothing. Let me think. Yeah, pretty much I'm just going to say graphic designers I'm best at around here, other than my colorful commentary. That's about it for me.
I feel pretty confident. I mean, pretty comfortable with me being in the regular spot as well, as everybody else said. Still gunning for that president spot, but that's kind of too far up there.
This isn't TCP lore. We don't have presidents.
We assassinate Renegade.
So who has the vice president?
Shut up, Figure.
But it is a lot of fun having the streams go up. You know, I really enjoy doing them. It's really a lot of fun having new people get interested in the games and wanting to come in and talk about it while we play. It's really a lot of fun. Also, you know, since I do the whole interviews, get people, get voice actors and other famous people to try to jump on and talk to us. That's always a real pleasure to do, you know, a real honor. And I really want to take a moment to appreciate everybody that came into the podcast, you know, from me inviting them and agreeing. You know, I really appreciate all you guys out there, all the voice actress and voice actors. You know, I love you guys. You guys are the best. And I feel like we all really appreciate you guys coming down. And we would be more than happy to have you guys come back on again. But other than that, yeah, I really enjoy being a regular. And can't wait to keep it going.
Well, all I'm gonna say is I love being a host. I think it's great to, you know, be the main president and to say, you know, I'm gonna fire up the nukes. No, I'm kidding. But I do enjoy being a host. I think it's been a great experience for me because I have podcast experience over the years. So it's really helped me develop over time. And I can only think that is going to help me develop even further into the future. So that experience is pretty awesome. And the fact that it's helped me get this far and to help talk to all these voice actors and all these people who are amazing, incredible, has been quite the thrill. So I think it's only going to continue. We have some stuff lined up this week that is very interesting, especially with the event. I think that's going to be pretty awesome to talk to him. And I am looking forward to seeing what else can come out of this. A lot of opportunities are out there to take. You just got to go out there and get them. So that's how I feel.
Yep, definitely.
And I'll back up recording. That's what I do best.
Yeah.
All right, so I think we can move on to number 5. So, who wants to read that?
I guess I'll take that one. Do you have a favorite member within the group? If so, state some of your personal favorites.
Oh,
Sounds kind of gay.
I love all of you equally.
my.
Can we have a polygamous relationship?
I vote for me and I vote for my dick. That's my favorite member. Go on to the strip club.
Well, basically what Red is trying to tell you is that if there was a clone of himself, he'd go gay for that clone.
I'm not saying that. What the hell?
Ren screams his own name during sex. Confirmed.
I'm not Kanye West.
So you're a Kenny West.
I'm just joking, but I like everyone equally. I don't have a favorite. I really can't answer that. I'm just gonna say, you know, sometimes I vote for myself. Other times I vote for other people equally. So I'll leave that as an answer.
You're all beautiful.
Thanks for the facts.
I wouldn't say I have a favorite member per se, because like I don't know,
Stop
like
lying.
Come on, Dom, really?
like I would say that, you know, me, like I wouldn't say I have a favorite member, but if there was somebody that like or if there were members that I was closer to, like definitely like James and Brandon, since I've known them longer. You know, I would definitely say like Daybreaker and then Brian I've talked to a lot, so like we kind of gotten a little bit closer to. Koss, definitely I've known him for a while too. I've known him for about as long as I've known James and Brandon. And then Chaos and Ren, of course, and yeah, pretty much everyone in this call like I've known for a while, so you know, I've known them enough to kind of be close enough to everyone. I would
Why
say,
don't you love me, Dom?
I just said Chaos. But like like, I would say, and then maybe you guys could agree, like, us knowing each other for quite some time now, we kind of have like a sort of like a friend, like almost like a brotherly bond, I guess you can say, like
friends with
siblings,
benefits.
sort of
We're a
like that.
misfit family.
Yeah, we're gonna dunk Dom's head in the toilet.
Oh, I will end your life, end your laughter.
Oh no, we'll put loaf in his pillow.
So, sometimes I do. but yeah, I think you guys would agree though, like as far as like that whole bond just sort of thing, like almost pretty much a year now at this point for some of us, almost a year for others, has gotten to the point where we're just that close. And yeah, sure, we'll have our ups and downs, but I think overall at the end of the day we're still there for each other, I guess.
I cheered up a little bit.
But I think before Ren, I know you want to go, but I think the one thing that everyone should know is that some of us are still going to go on that quest to Japan for games and waifus. So yeah.
No, that is
You just
factual.
want to go to the maid
Fucking know
cafe.
it.
I'm going on the quest for booty.
Yes.
Exactly. That's why you go to the maid cafe.
Man,
Yeah, see,
Dom,
Chaos knows.
you want to start World War III? I'm gonna get all the
You get a
rupees.
Japanese woman in a maid outfit to serve you and call you master.
Shh, no.
And then she takes all
We're
your
going to class.
And then we're
What
gonna
the
go
fuck?
into the giant Gundam.
Man, I told you, Dom is into underage women.
No, look, 18 and only.
Hey, Japanese women, you never know. You know, they could be 50 and they look like they're 17.
Man,
Look.
that's some old ass bitches. Goddamn.
All you need to know is 18 and only, and who said I wasn't going for teachers?
All right, you stupid idiots, you're diverging.
All right, next.
We're getting into Dom's fetishes now.
I'll go next. I'm gonna my
I'll flip
favorite.
that,
Shut up. My favorite members of the group would have to be my girls. Sniper Cat. Shout out to Sniper Cat. Lightning. Shout out to her. Rest in peace, Nadeko. I miss you. That's our bot.
Nadeko's not real.
That's
Nadeko's just a wannabe bot that has shit taste.
she's missing. If you've seen Nadeko, please
Literally
contact
Medusa.
us.
If you find her, she'll probably have a bullet in her head because I'm the one that killed
She'll tell you that DMC is a good game.
her. She still died. though.
DMC.
So yeah, those are some of my favorite members. Obviously, all the guys in here, the regulars, the hosts, President Obama. Everybody.
President Obama.
Obama, what the fuck?
Oh, I would like to thank you for that, Reapers.
Oh, thanks, man.
Oh.
That's the whitest Obama I ever heard.
Anyways, those are my favorite
He is-
people. I love
he's
everybody
white.
in here.
You didn't know he was white?
So that's it.
Alright, we're diverging, but I can't keep a straight face, so there you go.
Yeah, kind of dogs.
So
I
I think
who's next?
did Kaneki or James want to go?
Favorite members, obviously the boys from the Bio Devils, because I knew them first. I kind of just say everyone, mostly. People I'm very, very close to other than the Bio Devils guys is probably, I'd say, Levy, Reapers, definitely Cetilius and Kaneki. I'm with them a lot. We do a lot of shit, so yeah, those are pretty much my favorite boys, other than the usuals.
Yeah, from the same era, represent the Bio Devils now. These guys well over a year and some change now. So yeah, had a lot of memories with these guys back on Google Hangouts. How we first started out.
Yeah, and Scrubby.
So
We need to bring Kevin back. Kevin
Yes.
Senpai, come back. We need your lewds.
He's not.
I
know he's not dead. He's just been gone.
All right.
Yeah.
Hi, Kevin.
Oh god.
Hi, Kyle. Hi, Kyle.
Pretty much I have no favorite members other than Well, if it was like day one wise Renegade, because the Figgy gets bodied in Last of Us.
And
But
Shut up,
other than
bitch.
Street Fighter.
Oh, you mean he got 5-0? But no,
Nope.
I don't have a favorite member. I like everybody in this group, even the new people. So I have no favorites.
Liar.
Fee.
I'll tell you what, I hate that guy fucking Renegade. I don't know why he's in the group.
Bro,
I hate you too, pussy lover.
I do love
that's
that.
a compliment.
Is that a compliment?
That's a compliment.
Dang.
Man,
Good
compliment, insult, fuck him.
What?
Screwed up.
That's a complimentary insult? How does that even work?
Those are
That's a-
two contradictory things.
Taco.
Go to sleep, Red.
Hey, you're more tired than me, Dom.
I am.
Random goof confirmed.
This is what happens when he gets 5-0 or gets 0-5.
Nope.
When he worked the 9 to 5.
Let's move
Nine
on to bitches. Let's move on to the next one. So, this is an interesting one. So I want Chaos to read that off.
Was it number 6? Okay. If the group ever had an opportunity to go to E3, would you attend if you could, and how would you feel about an experience like that? I would if I could, and I would definitely try to. That would be very different because I've never been to E3, so that would definitely be an experience to say the very least. There would be a lot to see there. That I would be able to play some of the demos of some of the newer games that some people haven't played yet, so that would be interesting. And just if anything, just being able to meet everybody, that'd be fucking great. Just hang out.
Could I rephrase the question a little bit?
Yeah.
As far as like an opportunity to go to like any gaming related event, whether it be E3, Tokyo Game Show, or even like stuff that's like smaller, like Too Many Games or something like that,
Mhm.
Honestly, Tokyo Game Show will be the last thing I'll go to because it's not as interesting as Gamescom or E3 because you don't get a lot of fresh things. You kind of already know what you're getting in the past events. And once in TGS, you're pretty much getting, what's coming out in Japan first and then the West second. So
And we
that'd be like the last thing I'll go to unless we all go to Japan one day and just go there for, shits and giggles.
Well, yeah, go there, go for shits and gigs, and go for
It
the
sucks.
booth babes because
Dude,
the
really
booth babes are amazing there.
Yep.
Tig old biddies.
But yes, exactly. Tig old biddies. But
King Kong.
but I would say I think I would like to. Yeah, I would definitely like to go to E3. I don't know if they did this last year at E3 or not, but like getting hands-on with like PlayStation VR again, because I recently got hands-on with it, and while I didn't really like the game that I had the chance to play with it, that being the Resident Evil 7 Lantern demo, I still like the overall experience of VR and just looking around at everything, and I would like to get more hands-on with it because it was an enjoyable experience as far as like taking a look at or getting hands-on with new hardware, so that was a lot of fun. But and then like definitely like I would like to be able to meet up with these guys, and the reason why I brought up like something smaller like Too Many Games, of course, is that some of these guys, like I know Chaos, and then I know Daybreaker are really into like picking up like retro video games and just collecting and stuff like that. And that would just be really cool to just be able to go with those guys and like pick up a bunch of like retro stuff just to do it.
Yeah, definitely.
So how about Reapers?
Wait, what's the question? Let me read this.
The question is
Pastor.
the question is if you had an opportunity to go to E3, and I kind of rephrased it to if you had an opportunity to go to like other gaming events besides E3, would you attend? If you could go, how would you feel about the experience like that, and would you go with the group?
Hell yeah! What are you, dumb? Of course I want to go to that fucking event.
Go there by yourself.
That's every gamer's dream to go to E3, and or the other event. It would be great to have everybody on board on a plane heading over there. The trip would be hilarious. The way sitting in there and listening to everything would be informative. It'd be just a fucking fantastic experience. Hell yeah, I want to do that.
Renegade.
Man, I would play Japanese skull dancing on your head.
Like, this man's trying to rob me, sir. Can you?
Ren would yell about how he's tired of these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane.
I
In
probably
Japanese?
would, knowing me. Ching chong ching chong aye. But seriously, going to E3, that would be just amazing. I always wanted to go personally. I remember one of my friends told me that the experience is like none other being at the event as opposed to watching it at home. So it would be memorable. I would love it, actually. So if we ever got the chance, then, we ever got the money, I certainly wouldn't mind that either. As for smaller events, I wouldn't mind that also. I think that, Gamescom isn't Gamescom in Germany?
Yes.
Oh god.
Yeah, so
We would have to document that shit too. Like somebody bring a camera, just like film the entire trip.
oh
And we need immigration passports.
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
On a side note, just to interject a little bit, since I went to that Resident Evil event, if you heard about an event like that, even though it's like really, really small scale, you'd be like, oh, well, I wish I could have gone just to go to a gaming event. Yeah, it's really different from like, just hearing about it and actually being there. Like it's really interesting.
How bad?
Yeah, so it's like, stuff like that. I always wanted to go to E3. I always wanted to go to Comic-Con. If the opportunity knocks, then I'm definitely going to take it. And if I can bring some friends along, I'll definitely do that as well. So it would be an exciting experience to just go out there, see the world, and then I get to talk about Phil Spencer and how he's going to hook me up with like a yearly supply of Xboxes.
But the Xbox One can handle 4K 60 frames though.
Yeah.
And you can
Sports.
get a car looking Xbox Slim.
You can run FIFA in 60 frames at 4K.
You can get a piece of Tommy's car as your Xbox.
Look, guys, I the only reason I want that is because I need a new toaster.
Dude, it does look like a toaster. If you've seen the new Xbox Slim.
Yeah, they do.
Audi inspired.
It'll overheat and toast your bread. So
Yeah, your bread will be red.
red,
you can tell the Kinect to toast your toast.
Yeah, so who else didn't go yet?
I didn't go. I wouldn't mind going to E3 because I never went to E3 before. I would be really excited for it, actually.
And what about other gaming events?
Go to a Comic-Con.
I already went to Comic-Con. Other than
Of course. Sure.
other than the incident I had with it, it was fun.
You lucky fuck.
Yeah, he stole somebody's shoes.
Man. Tokyo Game Show. Actually, I was never interested to try to go to a Tokyo Game Show because this year's Tokyo Game Show I was really disappointed because they're basically showing us games that we already know since E3, etc., etc. So
yeah.
that's
Would
the only
you
gaming
say-
event I'm not interested.
Would you say last year was better, or would you say this one was kind of on par as far as like how bad it was?
I didn't see last year's, to be honest.
Wasn't last year's about like Fire Emblem, or was it Fire Emblem X Shin Megami Tensei?
Lots of overspammed Monster
Yes.
Hunter last year.
I hear
Okay,
that.
as far as Sony's goes, the last year was better in my opinion. 'Cause
Yeah,
the
it
first
was.
half of this year was actually pretty good, but the second half, oh lord, it wasn't worth staying up all night. I tell you that.
Didn't they have Call of Duty?
Yeah, they had Call of Duty.
Oh, don't put that in Japan. They don't care.
Surprisingly, it does well in Japan. I mean, Black Ops 3 was on the top 10, I think.
Xbox
Yeah, it
doesn't
was
do well.
actually in the top 10.
Man, Xbox Slim sold like 53 units in the first week in Japan.
Like I said, I want to get one for a toaster, but definitely want to move on to number 7.
Hard one.
So,
Hit him under my hood.
so who wants to read off on number 7?
I would.
All right.
Speaking about opportunities, what are your thoughts on the interviews and overall progression of the group? The interviews and overall progression of the group, man, we've been improving ever since. And the interviews, I've been liking them so far, especially Morgan Berry, because she does the voice
Yeah.
for my waifu. Widow.
You're a waffle.
Yeah. And who's that voice actor again that did Laura in Street Fighter 5?
GK
Man, her,
Bose.
Yeah,
yeah,
GK
man,
Bowles.
her story was funny. Her-
Oh yeah, she was great.
yeah, she was funny to talk to. And yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think it's crazy how many interviews we've been getting, and just the fact that we've even been able to get these interviews is just in and of itself pretty insane.
thank you, Reapers.
Yeah, I have to thank Reapers for that. And it seems like we're going to be getting more in the future. We may be having Noctis, the guy that does One Punch Man, Saitama. And we might or might not have Austin Tendall. So
Yes.
Accelerator.
yeah,
AKA
pretty
Kaneki.
excited for I'm pretty excited for all those. So it's definitely been like, just the opportunities we've been getting to have these interviews is just crazy, and I feel like it's gonna end up getting more exposure for our channel, and just having it grow that much more, get more of an audience maybe. But yeah, I mean it's crazy how many interviews we've been getting. I'm just surprised we've been able to get these interviews in the first place. But it's definitely interesting, having getting to talk to these people.
For me,
Okay.
I'll go then. For me is honestly, it was like an experience that I thought never happened to me. I mean, what else of us, talking to voice actors like that, Honestly, like originally before joining TCP, I never thought I would talk to Renegade, but look what happened now. Look where we're at. So I guess anything is possible, right? So yeah, so far the interviews are really good, and I can't wait for more. So great opportunity to just throw ourselves out there.
Right. For me, I've been pretty happy with the interviews so far. I think for voice actor interviews, I only did the GK Bose one. And the reason why I really wanted to do that one was because she voiced Kunoichi from the Samurai Warrior series, and that's like one of my favorite characters from that series. But then, like Reapers ended up getting Dan Southworth, like a contact for him. He still wants to do the interview. He's just been really busy with like filming and whatnot. And I'm sure you can see like on his Twitter page, like he's been posting up like pictures and videos of like some of the stunt work he's been doing. So that's why we haven't really interviewed him just yet, but we still have plans to do so. And then we did like cosplayer interviews, I think, and one that's actually coming up soon, not cosplayer related, but just content creator related, main event or event status, as some of you may know him as. We're going to be doing an interview with him, which I was the one that actually kind of got that one together. So stuff like that I really like doing. I hope we can do more voice actor interviews. I'm hoping that like maybe we can get like Ruben Langdon eventually on there, and who else would be a good voice actor to bring on?
Quentin Flynn.
Yeah, Quentin Flynn, or even David Hayter.
Memorized.
Who's the? Did we ever get the voice actor that did the voice of Adam Jensen?
No, we have
Last
not.
in Texas?
We have.
Yeah, we should be like, I never asked for this.
No, we haven't yet, but I wouldn't mind.
Yeah,
I would
like for
to have
sure.
him on.
So, like stuff like that, I look forward to. But overall, I would say that it has helped a lot because you get a specific voice actor, you get a specific cosplayer in some cases, or eventually even content creators. You get them on, and people see that, oh hey, this person's been on and I like this person, so they end up checking out the stuff and seeing like what excuse me, I got the hiccups. seeing what we've done in the past. So, and then even game devs too. Like, we've had, Nick and Eric, Nick being the developer for Road Fever, and Eric doing, or I'm sorry, no, Nick did the IOU, and Eric did Road Fever. Sorry, you can tell I'm tired, so I'm kind of mixing stuff up. But yeah, we did game dev interviews. We have plans to do more, and hopefully we can keep doing stuff like that. So I think overall, the progression of it's been pretty good, and it's helped out the group kind of get out there a lot, and hopefully continues to do so.
Yeah, I'd have to say the interviews that we have are really good. Really proud of getting all these people to come in and talking to us. Super happy I got my favorite character in my Final Fantasy, Prince Noctis, who's going to be hopefully coming by in the podcast pretty soon. I'm pretty sure all the fangirls are going to go nuts. Like people like Mari is going to be listening in on that.
We should get her on.
Yeah, if she's not busy, we can try to do that. But yeah, so that's going to be a lot of fun. Get to ask them a lot of questions and try to get them to do the voice, which will be really interesting to do. But just want people to know that, it doesn't stop here. We're going to keep asking, sometimes we'll, get a no, or most of the times we get yes, but we're not going to stop. This train's going to keep on rolling, whether anybody likes it or not. We're just going to continue to grow. And
and just to interject really quick too. The other thing that I forgot to mention is that the more we keep doing these interviews, and the more that people see that we've been conducting them and seeing how they've been handled, I think that's gonna kind of open up the doors and for people that might have been, at least voice actors and other people like game devs and cosplayers and whatnot that are interested, but they're skeptical about, coming on. This would kind of give them an idea of how we handle things, and maybe they'd be more inclined if they see somebody that they've worked with in the past as far as voice acting is concerned.
Right, kind of like a resume.
Yeah. So does anybody else have anything to add, or?
I do.
Okay.
Other than the interviews going to, Surprise Reaper didn't mention Mark
Wahlberg?
No, Witten.
Oh.
Yeah, Alex. I was gonna say I will never forget pretty much Jizz live interview. That shit was funny.
God damn it, shut up.
It was awesome.
He's a fucking amazing character and an amazing voice actor.
He was actually my favorite interview, believe it or not.
Who was?
Mark Witten, because he was really funny.
Yeah, I don't think I was in on that one.
Knew Nathan Drake. Or
You mean Old North? Oh man, that'd be crazy.
A lot of the voice actors seem to have a really good sense of humor. They can really get you to laugh. Like when we had GK Bo, she was telling us some pretty funny stories. But yeah, so definitely looking forward to that. So I think we're pretty good on that. Unless if somebody else wants to add in before we move on to the next question.
On a side note, if you guys have Steam, anybody listening, please go to the store immediately and please buy a game called Haiti.
Please.
I heard it's a very educational game, and I really would like to get those guys that did the game on the podcast one day.
It'll change your life.
It's not educating your brain, that's for sure.
That so
yeah,
if you're
it's
listening,
very it teaches you
So
ways
the
of life.
TCP is promoting this game. It's officially endorsed by the podcast.
Yes, I mean it teaches you new things about life, about
It's
your
very
feeling your
deep.
body.
It's a very deep game.
all of this is correct. And if you're listening,
It pleases you.
game devs of this game, if you're listening, please get on the podcast because we would like to all shake your hand.
Oh, get out. Okay,
Like-
we're divergent. Why don't we
No, we're
have
not.
yes we are. Why don't we have James read off number 8?
If you had a TCP national anthem, what would it be? What the hell? Who
Oh, see that big booty.
This is Canada's anthem.
Yes.
I did not prepare for this. I would have wrote a script.
Who wrote
I
this?
would too.
Da-ba-da-da-dee.
Okay, I know a song. Slob on my knob like corn on the cob.
Hey. I have an idea, but it has to go along with the TCP lore of Renegade's one and only Panda. Okay.
Dom, why don't you
Snorlax.
fuck off? Why don't you fuck off, Dom?
Renegade is
just
actually
gotta-
Snorlax.
We just gotta take the Busty Hentai song from Sleeping Dogs and just be like,
Oh, Jesus.
Busty Panda. Right.
I'm gonna banish all you motherfuckers to the Shadow Realm.
Man, TCP Lord Renegades
Outta
is
here, you
confirmed.
carbon nigga.
He's too sleepy to do that, though.
I will try. I will fucking try.
Try to be a scrub, you already are.
Just gotta be like, Busty Panda.
Oh,
so,
God.
official theme is Busty Hentai. So, moving on.
Yes.
24 herbs and sleeping dogs, pretty much.
No, it's called Busty Panda.
Well, we're gonna rename it that.
That's gonna be the remix, the official TCP anthem.
Gonna call you people
If
busty and
anybody
eat shit.
wants, look, if anybody wants a TCP animal, like just a generalized
You go to our merch
TCP
store.
Nation animal, it's definitely a panda. Okay.
We're selling official T-shirts now.
Lock these guys in a zoo with some tigers, okay?
Like Ren's dream is to meet a panda, and also for Harambe to smack that panda's ass.
Look, no, nigga. My dream is to see you get eaten alive by the king of the jungle.
Okay, George.
Simba's got nothing on me, okay?
What the fuck?
What?
He's got nothing on me, okay?
Dom, he has tiger blood. You will not outrun him.
That's how
He's a
Charlie Sheen got
lion.
tiger blood.
He's
He
a
lived with lions.
lion.
Well, either way, you'll be
You can't
eaten.
outrun Snoop Dogg.
Okay, we've diverged. I'll take number 9. Has the group helped you become more confident or stronger in your personal life? I would say so, to an extent.
I think I did cover this also too. So
I'm more depressed.
I was actually
Yeah.
really, I was really kind of, or at least I tried to be social when I went to San Francisco. Definitely really tried to, like normally I'm shy. Like I would not go up to people and just be like, hey, what's your name or whatever. But like there, I was just kind of different. Like I met up with people. I was like really just kind of open to speaking with them and just kind of seeing what's what they like about Resident Evil and whatnot. So I would say it has helped to an extent. So who wants to go next as far as number 9 is concerned?
For me, it has definitely improved. Me personally as a person, especially since this is like the longest I actually have friends in a long time, besides the one back in middle school. We still keep in contact though, but unfortunately, mother differences. Long story, but other than that, yeah, you guys like the closest and the most consistent I kept contact besides like schoolmates, which that was years ago. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's good to have someone else to talk to and whatnot. So yeah, you guys definitely, I love you guys.
So I've pretty much kind of talked a little bit about this already, but I used to not be as social as I am now. I mean, if I'm still not the kind of person who would walk up to someone and be like, oh hey, what's up, like a complete stranger or something like that. But I'm more open to talk to people. It's not something that I'm afraid of. I used to be a lot more anxious about that kind of thing, and I feel like just my time on YouTube and in the group has really helped out with that. Just general confidence and social confidence, and I don't have a ton of friends. I have a small circle of friends in real life, but it's not I don't really get to hang out with them on a totally regular basis. Their schedules are very different from mine. So, but it is nice to come online and be a part of a group and have people to talk to. So, it's always something I look forward to.
All right, I can say the really
Get out, Brandon. Get out.
I can say this group really boosted my confidence when it comes to talking to people. I mean, I've always been good with making friends. I'm very charismatic, as much as everybody wants to say that I'm not. Pieces of shit. But yeah, I like to talk to people. I like to make friends. I like to be civil and everything like that. And I feel like I've learned to talk to more people in different ways, be more respectful than I was, and to better understand people. I hate Ren's guts. I hate half the people in here, but at the end of the day, they're all cool.
Fuck you too, cockmouth.
Yeah.
They say the one that fights the most are the best of friends, so yeah.
Yeah, Ren's Sundare.
What the fuck is in the chat? God, dude.
Anyways, before we die, we should probably move on.
I think before the next person goes, I think this should be TCP lore. If anybody wants to be scared, if somebody wants to turn the TCP chat into a horror, it would be me. I can easily turn that place into a nightmare.
Oh, you got that right.
Okay. Anybody else want to have anything to say, or you want to move on to the next question?
We're still on the friends thing, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, the social thing, yeah.
I would say ever since a lot of my friends moved before me, I didn't have a lot of friends to hang out with in life anymore because they left, I guess. So, yeah, you guys pretty much keep me going.
Okay, so I think we've pretty much covered it. Why don't we have Kaneki read off or actually, no, not Kaneki. Why don't we have Brandon read off the final one, unless if we need to have somebody else read it off.
Am I muted now?
Yes.
Because this is working funny. Okay, I have a little bit of issues. Okay. In closing, how long do you hope the TCP lasts in terms of being? Because content creators existing as a group entirely.
Next 5 minutes.
For at least a couple of years. I mean, come on. Yeah, you gotta at least go for 5.
I would say at minimum 5, but I would hope for longer. But what I would personally hope is that, even say if we all not necessarily disbanded as the TCP and we moved on to do other things, but still kept contact as friends. I would hope that the TCP in general, would still keep going as a thing. Just
a retirement party.
Yeah, like I would hope that we can pass on the mantle to somebody else who can, do everything that we did, but also improve on what we did as well, and what we failed on. So I would say minimum 5, 6 years, and maximum till nobody wants to do it anymore, basically. And even if we tried to pass on the mantle.
Yeah.
Keep the legacy going.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I would try to. I'm trying to look at it from a realistic perspective. There's a lot of factors involved, and however long it lasts. As long as sites like YouTube stay up, and even if they don't, there's always alternatives like SoundCloud, other video sharing websites. So if for whatever reason we can't be on YouTube anymore, or YouTube just one day shuts down, which I think is I want to say is unlikely, but who knows?
It's not impossible.
I think the alternative takeover might be more likely at this point, given some of their decisions.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, the reason I can see us maybe potentially leaving is just because of the horrible things YouTube is trying to implement now.
Yeah,
With
Hero Chaos.
Hero stuff, but it remains to be seen what's going to happen with that. But like I said, there's a lot of things and factors involved in what may happen in the future. But I would mostly agree with what Dom says. I would like for it to last however long it lasts. 5-6 years. That seems like a pretty. I mean, I won't say it's a stretch. It really depends on how much the group grows. It depends on how many people we can get in here, and if we can pass on the torch to other people, if we can have other people take over, if we get a huge audience. I mean, these things do take time, so maybe I would predict in a couple years or so we get a little bit more, bit more of a following. So it depends on how much it grows and just if there's anybody willing to take over. But it's I would like to see it stick around for as long as possible.
Any final thoughts? Anybody else want to kind of go and share? Maybe Reapers?
We're gonna be in here forever. We're gonna be in here for a long time. Probably old fucking geezers.
Yeah, we'll definitely be TCP retirement home.
Yeah, man, I totally want to be 100 in here talking to you guys. I want to have a broken hip and all.
He's gonna be on life support or some shit. He's gonna have the fucking computer hooked up.
We like be dead by 200.
You'll hear the you'll hear the beeping of the the thing in the background. I don't know the name of it.
The respirator.
It's like
Fucking run on like.
Dom's gonna be jealous because he's gonna have Asian nurses.
But no, yeah, I think if you don't mind me elaborating really quick, before anybody else goes, yeah, like 5 to 6 years is just something like I say that as like a minimum thing. Obviously I would want it to go as long as possible, but it will get to that point where like something is going to take more of a priority than doing this.
There's a variety of factors that could happen.
Yeah, like Chaos was saying, there's a lot of things that could happen. Like for all I know, in like 6 years I could be a dad or whatever. I don't know. I'm not saying that because that wouldn't happen. But
you never know.
Reality kicks in. Yeah, but in that offshoot that happens, yeah, of course I would probably not put this up as a priority sort of thing, but at the same time I would want to put in as much time as possible because I do have a lot of fun with it, and I think I wouldn't want to be here when I'm like 60 or whatever. At that point it'd be like, yeah, no, I need to pass the torch. So
and I have to wonder if YouTube will still be going at that.
Well, no, at that point YouTube wouldn't be around, but we would definitely have to go to alternatives and whatnot, and definitely try to keep everything at a broad potential.
Yeah, I hope everything is archived because, man, there were some memories on our channel, and like this video in particular, you don't want them to go to waste.
Yeah, and yeah, Brandon, yeah, I'd be too old, so I don't think I want to leave when I'm like 50, maybe. That's the oldest I'll go.
Yeah, when you have to use like Viagra for the rest of your life.
Dude,
hey, if it keeps my pimp hand strong, I will do it.
I was at work the other day. And this old woman was fucking asking me about lubricant, and I'm like, oh my god.
What the fuck? Well, now this is quite the anniversary. I have no words after this. I just my mind is like fucked right now. Okay.
It seemed relevant.
Okay, so yeah, I have the same simple question. Well, the simple question.
You're welcome.
The simple question is why, first off, and then my answer to this question in the document is I like to keep the group running as long as possible. I think maybe like 5 to 10 years max. I mean, anything could happen, but I do still want to keep the group around as a remembrance sort of thing. So if people still want to come in and chat, like if we pass the torch to people and they still want to come in, that'd be pretty awesome because I think that that's really important for people to sort of take up the mantle when we're all gone. So I'm gonna keep it running as long as I can, come around as long as I can. But you know, you never know.
Yeah, come.
Also, just this has been also wacky and ridiculous, and just looking at the chat here, this guy with like snow on his beard, you know, it's
I
absolutely
didn't know
crazy.
Santa Claus was black.
Yeah, I didn't know Santa Claus was
Dude,
black.
it looks like he took like crusted up shaving cream and just like glued
I
it
was
onto
gonna
his
say,
face.
does this nigga know how to use Axe?
I don't know, but
We are diverging a bit.
we diverged to hell, but I think it was an overall fun time. I had a blast, even though I couldn't talk much on some of the questions. It was really entertaining. So that's my answer to keeping the group around, and hopefully it's around for more years to come.
Mhm.
So
I think we're good to close off now, right?
yeah, those outros. I got to hear about Black Santa Claus, lubricant with the old woman, dicks out for Harambe, and all types of shit.
That's the last message we're gonna leave off on, except for
Yeah, who's gonna watch this in 2100?
Look, 2100. Yeah, 2100. They're gonna look at this and be like, "Look at these ancient motherfuckers talking about some ancient ass gorilla."
Are these guys cavemen? I assume that would be the answer.
Mayonnaise and,
Yeah, I assume that would be the answer. We're cavemen. We have clubs.
YouTube Neo in the future.
YouTube Neo.
Oh,
Well,
That'll be like
well-
70.
well, for all you guys out there, like I said, thanks for watching. Even if it's like 300 years into the future, you know, with your ancient technology and VR, I still hope you enjoy this video. So I guess it's
VR,
time.
They just look. VR is gonna be irrelevant. Fucking
the future,
The
though.
Matrix. They're gonna be in the video. What are you talking about?
They're gonna be in the... Damn, I'll be like, nigga, get away from me.
The future is being able to be a bird and crap on people.
Oh my god,
No.
let's just move on the outros, please. So, Mr. Devil Hunter James, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter at DevHunterJames, twitch.tv/TheHeroJames, and here on the Biodevils and the TCP podcast.
What about you, Mr. Dom?
You can find me as biodevil_Dom. That's on YouTube and on Twitter. And then on this man wishes I was on RedTube. Anyways, Dom241996 on Twitch. We do plan on doing a Biodevils podcast sometime this weekend. We also plan on doing a Rainbow Six Siege tournament. What else? Oh yeah, and then we have the event status interview coming up, so kind of lots of stuff to get through, but hopefully we can get through all of it in time.
And the Metal Gear Survive roast on Saturday, which I think is going to be great.
The walking gear.
Yeah.
The Walking Gear.
Call it okay, look, call it the fucking poor man's version of Metal Gear Solid.
What about you, Mr. Reapers?
You can find me on Twitter and on YouTube and Twitch at Reapers240. That's where you'll generally find me doing stupid shit.
Mr. Chaos?
You can find me on YouTube at Captain Chaos. Do a variety of stuff from reviews to Let's Plays to unboxing videos. Gonna be checking out Nerd Block next month. Kind of going through different subscription services at the moment, so might see what that has to offer. But you know, fun stuff there. You can also check me out on Twitter as well, Captain Chaos. I tweet about a bunch of random stuff, so follow me on there. Shameless plug.
How about you, Brandon?
You can find me on Twitter at CaptainLube.com, which, you know, I just slip in and get a girl there, you know. But, no. You can find me on Twitter at ArcaneMagician514, my YouTube channel, which hopefully I can change the name soon. Biodevils, TCP, all the garbage like that, yeah. You know. Same old, same
Oh,
old.
that
Also-
our podcast has got garbage. Okay.
Yeah, how dare you, Brandon?
Don't show up anymore.
How dare I show
No,
up?
I'm just kidding.
Man, I make the podcast. That's why.
Man, you don't make shit.
I ain't fucking podcast. I mean, I'm the only black man there, so yes, I'm the life fucker.
Holy
Hey,
Jesus.
hey,
Wow.
I'll give you this. At
Ren's
least you
not
don't
black.
drive an Xbox Slim to work.
It's just like Forza.
All right,
Yeah.
Mr. Kaneki, it's your turn.
All right. You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube on the same name known as Guru World Order. And those will no longer exist in the World 3000 because that's where I'm in right now. In the future, beyond. And YouTube no longer exists.
Thank God. I mean, oh no.
Okay, so for all my alien freaks out there, for all you people out there
senpais.
probing every human in the world and watching this in the year 3000, you can find me on you can find me on Twitter at RenOperative_. You can find me on YouTube at Renegade Operative, where I will be posting my humanoid content for the modern species. So
They're too busy dealing with
what
cows.
What
rather
he
than
wants
anyone.
to say is that you should definitely check out that South Park game where they totally have aliens anally probing people.
oh my
There's a
god.
whole segment dedicated to that.
Stop, please.
Well, we're gonna sign off. So all you aliens out there, hopefully you enjoy our content, and this has been a blast. It's been funny, it's been strange, but again, we look back on the times and we see what we brought to the table, and we pass it on to the next generation. So this is Renegade Operative signing off with the TCP. Happy 1-year anniversary.
Bye.
Woo! You
McDonald's.
fucking alien bastards.
Hey everybody, Darkstalkers47 here. Just wanted to say congrats to the TCP and happy anniversary. It was thanks to a friend of mine that I was first introduced to them. Things started simply enough. I would talk with them in the group chat, hangout, and eventually I had the opportunity to be on one of the podcasts. Afterward, anytime I had an opportunity, I gladly took it, and eventually I was given the honor of becoming a regular. It's something that I truly appreciate them for, and I hope in the future become more active, as I've recently fallen behind in that regard due to personal reasons happening in my life. I hope to overcome them and become not only more active in the TCP, but also talk more with a great group of guys that I would happily call my friends. Congrats again, you guys, and I'll see you around.
To be honest, this group feels like home. Interacting with new faces, making new friends along the way, playing games together with the group, and having a damn good time. And to be honest, I feel more welcome here. Shout out to the TCP. Woo!
Hey, how's it going? Martin here, otherwise known as Zagarander. So, he's coming in here to say, man, damn, TCP, 1-year anniversary, huh? That is quite awesome. I remember being in the TCP since, like, early November 2015. And ever since then, just being in the group has been so, like, I mean, I would also say fucking awesome. It's kind of like, I don't know, I just think the community is fucking great. It's like the regulars, the hosts, everything, like the overall community. It's just been so fucking great to me, and yeah, I don't know, it's a wonderful group. No, I don't know. I'm gonna cut this short. Yes, TCP 1-year anniversary. Peace.
Oh, how time has flown by. I remember when I first joined the TCP, I had known Renegade through a few other things. We had worked on a project together in the past, and it was such a strange honor for me to be invited to such a group. It was small back then. I don't even think they had recorded the first episode of their podcast back then. I was on episode 3 of the podcast. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Mr. Coolmanist. I'm Chuck in the TCP. And it's 1 year, and honestly, I gotta say, I'm so glad these guys are still making content. They've done some phenomenal work. They're the type of content producers that this site needs and this site deserves. And I think that is one of the most important things with it being the TCP's 1 year anniversary. And so, it's just strange to me to be sitting here a whole 1 year later after this is launched. It's just so nice to see that Renegade and all those guys over at the TCP have put in all those hours and time and so much effort into creating content that everybody seems to love. And, you know, they've been doing voice actor interviews, they've been doing the podcast, they've been doing the cinematic experience, they've done all this great stuff, and they've produced such great content. So happy 1 year to the Cooperative experience. I have a feeling this won't be the only year. I have a feeling this channel is going to go for a very long time, honestly. With the content they've been producing, the content I've seen, some of the content I've participated in, it's amazing to me. I will say, I'm not active that much in their voice channels where they talk and they discuss stuff, but when I am in there, it's such a ball. Those guys, they're talented, they know their stuff. And I guess anybody who's listening to this has seen their work, and you gotta admit, these guys are talented. They know their stuff, they know what they're talking about. When they talk about something and you sit and listen, you learn a lot. These guys all come from different backgrounds. Everybody in the TCP, especially in those voice channels, I've met so many people from so many different backgrounds. It's so astounding that a community can be brought together within this 1 year and be with so many great people. It's been crazy how many great people have come through the TCP, and I've met through the Cooperative experience and all that. And it's crazy to me to see that. And I love it. I've met so many people from different, jobs, different races, different, countries. It's kind of amazing that Ren has been, Renegade and all those guys over at the TCP were able to put this together. And they did it so flawlessly, too. I don't think I remember one time where I was like, oh, Jesus, these guys kind of suck. No, I don't know, man. And they're just all so great guys, and I'm just so happy for them. I'm just so happy for you guys over there at the Cooperative experience that are listening to this. I'm so happy for you guys that you've hit your 1 year anniversary, and you guys are still going strong, and it doesn't look like you guys are stopping anytime soon. I doubt you'll be stopping in the next 3 years. I doubt you'll be stopping even in the next 5 years, and I cannot wait to see where the Cooperative experience goes. And thank you, Renegade. When you invited me to this group a year ago, back when it was first starting out, I didn't know what to expect, honestly. I remember the proposition was like, hey, I'm starting this new community, this gaming community of gaming podcasts, would you like to be a part of it? I, of course, said yes, but I was like, in the back of my head, I was like, I don't know how this is going to go. I've been a part of communities before, and it was just weird. And then that night, I joined the call for the first time. It was like, within 15 minutes, it was like, yeah, I think this will be great. And then I was on the podcast for episode 3, and you guys were so clear, concise, and professional. It was great. So, happy birthday, I guess, to the Cooperative experience. I hope you guys have many more birthdays.
Hey everybody, how's it going? Daybreaker Rain here, coming at you through Videoscope with just a little offshoot, recording that I wanted to do for Renegade Operative's video for the TCP anniversary. I'm just kind of talking about my experiences briefly as a whole, with the TCP group. And so this is going to kind of be offshoot. I'm not reading off of like a script like I usually like to do, just to kind of get my thoughts coherent and everything like that. So originally, before, I used to roll around with a couple different groups. I used to hang around some TeamSpeak groups. I used to hang around in another Skype group way back in the heyday when I started YouTube, and all that stuff never really panned out. And then by some off happenstance, Ren found and got a hold of me through YouTube or through Twitter. I can't really remember. How he found me is freaking beyond me. I guess it was kind of a good idea that I started going into a more gaming oriented channel, because probably wouldn't have found me any other way, since a before I was doing like all sorts of stuff from like vlogs and YouTube poops and creepypastas and stuff like that, stuff that I really just don't dabble in anymore. I mainly just focus on the gaming side of things. So, you know, Ren reached out to me and asked if I wanted to be part of the group. I was a little hesitant because the previous group I had been in kind of resulted in some really nasty crap, so I didn't want to have another altercation where something fell through and, you know, have a whole bunch of other drama, you know, entailed because of something I said or something I did or, you know, whatever. But that wasn't the case. You know, I accepted Ren's invitation into the TCP, and you know, come to find out, a lot of the guys in there are pretty much like me. You know, pretty much in the same vein of like what games they like and, you know, what kind of things they like in general, and that, I think that's awesome. You know, like for once in my life, outside of, you know, my in real life friends, you know, and the groups that we establish, you know, through Skype and just through Facebook, you know, for once in my life, I actually felt accepted, you know, into a group that, you know, it kind of hits all my niches for the most part. You know, it kind of, you know, covers gaming. There's there's the people in there that like the fighting games. There's the people in there that like the anime games. You know, there's people in there that, you know, just like the action adventure first person shooter. You know, we cover a pretty wide spectrum of the genres that we all like. And, you know, for the first time, I felt like it wasn't awkward for me to like the anime games or like the, you know, the fighting games. You know, I actually have people I could talk to with this, you know, about these games about, you know, like and it's not, you know, like, oh, anime is so stupid, or, oh, you're just, you know, some, you know, basement dwelling troll. I almost said twall. Like, my almost slurred my words there. But, you know, it's been a really great experience for me, and I am humbled and very appreciative for Ren reaching out to me and how well everybody has received me, and it's never been like, you know, an issue with things that I like or don't like. You know, granted, we all have our quirks, we all have our tastes in things, like from music and games and so on and so forth. You know, so you know, everything that I like is not everybody's cup of tea, but that's all right. You know, it hasn't been like the pinnacle thing where, like, you know, everybody in the group's like, oh, well, you're just stupid for liking that. You know, so all in all, I really am appreciative. I'm humbled to be a part of something that's ongoing. And I hope we continue to grow and hope to be a part of it for the years to come. I hope to be around for like the 5th anniversary and then like the 10th. If there's a 10th anniversary, you know, I don't foresee us going anywhere anytime soon. I don't think the group's ever gonna disband in the foreseeable future. So we'll just have to wait and see. But I'm glad to be on. I'm glad to be a part of, you know, the gaming stuff that we do. I'm glad to be a part of the podcast episodes when I can be, you know, voice actor interviews and all this good stuff. We've got good stuff going on. And I don't know if Ren's going to want plugs. So if he wants me to, if like at the end of the video there's like plugs or whatever, I'll send him another audio recording. But this has been Daybreaker Rain, and I'll catch you all in the next one, guys. Take it easy.
Hi guys, the Alvar here. If you don't know me, I'm an aspiring Let's Player, you know, YouTuber. And I have been recently invited to the cooperative experience run by Renegade and a couple of other dudes, including BioDevildom. So what this channel is all about is we try to focus around the more technical aspects of gaming. We react to game shows, we talk about upcoming events, news, and games. And I have to say, in the few days that I have been around this group, that I have been included, I have to say they are pretty cool guys, and they are actually having their anniversary soon of the time they created the channel and started doing all this. So yes, I couldn't be more happy to be working around these people. I had the chance to be in one of the streams lately, and I'm going to be in one of the main podcasts today that's going to talk about the PlayStation. That's going to talk about the PlayStation event that happened recently. So yeah, I hope you guys can stick around and watch for the content that
we want to create in this channel. And I want to thank the guys at the Cooperative Experience for including me and letting me work alongside them. It's been a blast. And with that said, hope you guys will have a good day and please enjoy our content.
Tommy, 45th City. Happy anniversary, TCP. Happy anniversary. Boy, how much time flies when you're in a group. I was actually introduced to the group in October by Renegade. And I've been with them since. We have our fair share of drama, our own struggles, honestly. But I couldn't be any happier to be with this group. Otherwise, I wouldn't have made all these awesome new buddies I've come across, not just on Skype, but also on Discord and Twitter as well. And today I say thank you, TCP, thank you, Renegade, because if it weren't for this group, I don't know what to say. I've been very grateful to be a part of this through thick and thin, better or worse. And I don't know what to say. It's a year. A lot has happened. I've yet to be in a podcast, but I will someday. Someday I will. But for now, just keep doing what you guys are doing. Keep growing. Keep it on. And thanks.
Hey guys, I'm Eternal, and here are my thoughts about the group. And this is a really great group to me because I was able to befriend and or interact with other people that has the same games as I do that I really enjoy a lot. And as time grew by, I was able to do stuff with them, like podcasts. And I was able to enjoy movies with them. Stuff like that. Or enjoy live streams with them, like E3. Or other stuff like that. And it's really a great experience to be able to join a group where I could befriend the right friends. The friends that I personally need or want, and I could do things together in online or just chat with them, get to know them better. And this group is really worth it for me to join in because there might be times whenever I have questions about the group or questions about some games or questions about other things or life stuff, So I could get some answers and I'll be able to go through with stuff that I might have a problem with. Or a game that I'm kind of stuck in and I might need some help with it and they might give me some answers. Stuff like that, And as time go by, I was able to get to know with some of the members, and there are a couple that I actually do videos with, and it was a fun experience, and I hope to continue doing that for as long as I can, pretty much. And again, after all this time that I've been with them, it makes me want to be more open, more talkative with other people, be friends with more people. And it was thanks to this group that it made me like that, And lastly, well, not really lastly, but, well, as time goes by, I'm certain that I'll be able to befriend with more people as time goes on, as long as this group continues to grow, more and more gamers come in, and I'll be able to befriend them, get to be useful pretty much, because I'm the type of guy that doesn't really do much as I said earlier. So I guess I could say this group made me experience more in a way that I was never able to do so. So I really appreciate what this group has got me to, and thank you, Renegade, for letting me join this group. This was really worth it. Again, thank you, much appreciated, and I hope this community really grows. And I hope I could stay along this road because so far I'm really enjoying it. And that is pretty much my thoughts for this one. I'll see you guys next time.
So, who are you, and what is your like particular role in the TCP?
My name is Reapers, and my role in the TCP is I'm basically regular.
Okay, so what was it that got you to join the group? What was that thing that kind of drove you to getting involved and just kind of getting into the like podcasts and stuff like that?
Well, Renegade actually reached out to me randomly. I didn't really talk to anybody else on Twitter like that until he messaged me and told me about the group, and he was like, "Oh, you're an you're amazing. You're gonna be the best guy on the freaking group," and I am. But basically, I joined because he reached out and asked me.
Okay. And what are some of your favorite experiences within the group? What are some of those things that you like as far as your experiences are concerned? And yeah, just kind of go in detail with that.
Experiences with the group, it's fucking nuts. I mean, there's a lot of crazy dumb shit that we do in calls. We talk about random stuff, but we always keep on talking. We always keep true to gaming and stuff like that. We always have stuff to say, have opinions and whatnot. And then that experience was always great. It felt like I was around people that understood me, that had the same interests as I did.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it felt really welcoming, really warm. It felt like a family.
Okay. So final question. Well, actually, second to last question. Where do you hope to see the group kind of go into the future when it comes to like content or just in general?
I'm hoping the group can make it big. As in, like, a lot of people know who we are. They get to know who we are. We have a lot of followers or a lot of fans that are really interested in hearing what we had to say about gaming news and movie news and other types of stuff. What I want to see is I just want to see the group grow numbers-wise and fans-wise, because it's always been one of our big goals is to try to branch out and have everybody know, we're here, we're actual real gamers, and we actually care about the community, and we love gaming.
Mm-hmm. So, final question: are there any like final words you want to give to the fans that are watching, and any new people that are coming in that are now starting to get into like TCP content?
The only thing I have to say is just that, just watch, get ready, because each year we start coming up with better things, we start getting better interviews, we get bigger people. Not to say that the smaller actors, voice actors, and other people, aren't great to have. We love having everybody in there, but just, keep watching, and sooner or later you'll see that we'll just come out with more and more stuff that'll catch everybody's interest. And I feel really confident in that. And I hope that everybody sticks around to watch and more people come and see what we got to offer. We'll start with that. Tell us your name and what you do in the group.
So my name is Dominic. A lot of people just call me Dom, and you may know me as BioDevil Dom on YouTube. So I basically do my own content. I also help host the TCP podcasts. So we do like various different stuff where we do like episodic discussions, news-related podcasts, things of that nature. So for me, it's it's kind of a plethora of stuff that I do as a host.
Right. How did you join the group?
Actually, what was funny about this one was that I didn't actually get contacted by Renegade to join the group. Brandon, or some of you may know him as Arcane Magic, had put out a good word for me for Renegade. He'd also given out a good word for some of our other members, excuse me. And he had said that, yeah, you know, if they can join, let them join. And that's kind of how I got into the group. I wasn't really active initially, but I started coming in more and more. Definitely after, like, we started doing some of the podcasts, and I wanted to kind of, like, get used to everything, because it was a big shift going from just my small group in the BioDevils podcast group, going over from there to the TCP group, which at the time was still very, very small. So it was you know, comparatively to now, but it was still bigger than my group. So that's kind of how I got in, and I like that I made that decision of joining, because I met a lot of interesting people. I met a lot of new people, and at the end of the day, I don't think I would have really, you know, changed that as far as how I joined. So yeah.
All right. What are some of your experiences with the group, and what are some of the things you like about the group?
So with my experiences, you know, like I was saying, we were doing a lot of the episodic discussions and whatnot. One of my favorite ones actually was the first one we did, which was talking about the Devil May Cry 2 remake, and we were talking about the possibilities of how that could actually improve a bad game if you were to go back and remake it and fix a lot of the problems that the original had. I also really liked a lot of the other episodic discussions we did later on. We did like Resident Evil 2 remake, we did Metal Gear Solid as a whole, so stuff like that was a lot of fun to do. And recently, actually, I really liked doing the GK Bose interview that we did, which you can find somewhere around the channel. I think there's a whole playlist dedicated to the interviews, so that was something that I really enjoyed doing, because I never thought I'd be speaking with somebody that I'd only heard via voice just by playing video games. You know, I never thought I would get to experience something like that. As far as what I like about the group, I really like being able to play a lot of games, like cooperatively or competitively. A lot of us in the group like to play Rainbow Six Siege, and that's a lot of fun. Recently, we've been playing Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker, which that was also a lot of fun. And it just, that's something that I like. It's just a lot of the stuff that we do, you know, it's just all about fun. It's not meant to be taken seriously. It's not meant to be all like a pissing contest or anything like that. It's just mainly focused on fun, and I like that.
All right. Well, what would you like to see out of the group in the future?
Definitely more of like the interviews stuff. Like I want to see more voice actors coming on, especially from various other franchises. I know we kind of started a little bit out with like Capcom related stuff, but I'm hoping we could branch out and eventually like reach out to like voice actors that have been on Sega games and like Konami games and all sorts of, you know, other games, you know, whatever you can really think of. I hope that we could definitely get a more broader experience out of that with interviews. I'm also looking forward to, you know, moving on and improving the episodic discussion, because each time we do an episode, we always try to look for a new thing to talk about. And I think it's going to be great to just kind of talk about other franchises in greater depth and kind of learn from the mistakes that we've might have made in previous episodes, and just constantly learning how to improve. I think that's something that I look forward to in the group.
All right. Any final thoughts you'd like to share with the viewers?
Yeah, definitely just, keep an eye out for all of our new content. It's great that it's the anniversary for podcast, and, definitely looking forward to just seeing what comes out of the content as a whole. For you guys, it's really just meant to give back to the community, because as much as we love the community, it's always good to just kind of give back somehow, whether it be via interviews, whether it be doing like fun stuff like the episodic discussions and cutting room floor and stuff like that, or even like doing like cooperative or competitive gameplay stuff. It's really all just about having fun and giving back, and that's what I hope everybody who's watching this, whether they be new fans or old fans, coming out of this, I hope that they gain a kind of sense of like getting back from the communities, sort of thing, So, yeah, I think that's good enough, right?
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. This is Renegade Operative here, and welcome to a special The Co-Operative Podcast 1 year anniversary special video. This is an off-the-cuff explanation talking about some of the content that we do. We are really diversified in our podcast. We have a lot of content here, so I figure I read this all for you guys so you could be in the know, so you can understand what type of content we do, and so you can be aware of the things that you're interested in case you're a new member, in case you would like to know more about our channel. So I'm going to dive right into it after this short little jump cut. So a lot of people ask me what type of content does the TCP do. So I want to break this down, and I want to keep you guys aware, keep you guys in the know, and tell you guys in the most simplest of terms all the stuff that we do. So this is going to be off the cuff, unedited, so once again forgive me, but here we go. This is number one, the Co-Operative Podcast. This is basically our main source of talking about the latest in gaming news. We talk about the latest in tech. We talk about stuff like consoles and rumors. Most stuff that is swirling out there that we can pick up and put in a Google Doc. That's what we do. We talk about the latest gaming news on that podcast. Number 2 is less reacts. So every reaction is different. You're not going to simply see something and then have the same reaction twice, right? You're going to go back and analyze that, and I usually go back and analyze stuff and save that stuff if I have something to say on podcasts. But for Less Reacts, this is our first time being exposed to something, so you might be exposed to E3, Gamescom, or Tokyo Game Show, where a lot of new news is flooding out of those particular events. So that is where the Less Reactions take place. It's basically our live reactions to what we see on those live streams when they stream E3, when they stream Gamescom, when they stream Tokyo Game Show. Number 3 is pre-streams. So this is a random assortment of activities that take place before the TCP podcast. We had the podcast bloated with pre-streams before the actual podcast started. Now we changed that a little bit, but pre-streams still exist. Is where we watch like random movies that don't necessarily involve gaming, that don't necessarily involve comic books, that don't necessarily involve anime, stuff that I'm working on for the channel. It could be a random assortment of things like Death Battle. That is where we cover Death Battle. I know some people tend to have an opinion on it, but that's where we cover it. Random movies that don't involve the topics that I cover. I know we did a reaction to The Room and also Hardcore Henry. So it's basically us going out of our way to try to enjoy something else that doesn't necessarily have to involve gaming. Next we have TCP plays. So this is full playthroughs on multiplayer and co-op commentaries from the TCP group itself. It's self-explanatory. Basically what it means is if we are playing together, we usually do co-commentary on PS3, sometimes on PC. I know some people have PC rigs that they do co-commentary on, but mostly we are a PS4, PS3, and PC group when it comes to playing games together. So we usually try to record on those platforms. So we have TCP streams, and it's where a solo member decides to stream a game that may not necessarily involve co-op, but it involves some people coming in for co-commentary. So it's pretty self-explanatory. It's basically someone decides to stream something like Shenmue or Resident Evil 4, and someone could come in and co-commentate with them to make the overall experience enjoyable. Next we have plant tournaments. Now it's the best of the best. It's the people in the group going against each other in a competitive multiplayer mode. Sometimes this can involve prizes. So I've seen some people that were first place and second place, runners up. I seen them get prizes. So yeah, sometimes we give out PSN codes or games, or we have that incentive going to keep that competitive spirit and to make sure that the winner is acknowledged. So next we have Saturday night fights. This is basically relating to fighting games only. So sometimes we play fighting games. I know a lot of people love fighting games. I personally am a fan of fighting games. So this is where we play fighting games every Saturday night, and we have a lot of fun with that. Next we have the Preemptive Strike Spoiler Cast. So this is basically all about the lore of a particular comic book medium or a particular comic book show. This could also involve the death of a comic book movie as well. The same goes for video games in that same regard. This is all about the story aspect of those, and this podcast is essentially very different and I really like the concept of just talking about a game story or talking about a comic book story, because there's a lot of lore in certain games that needs to be explored, that needs to be talked about. So this is a story-based podcast talking about spoilers on that particular form of medium that we talk about. Next up is the episodic discussion. Now this is for a particular video game franchise, and you know there's franchises like Metal Gear or Grand Theft Auto, big franchises with a lot of stuff to talk about with them. Also, this can pertain to something like a singular entry in a franchise. So say we talk all about Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. that'll be just that one episode talking about that one particular game. So you see how that works. It can span, the episodic discussion can span over a number of franchises, but it can also span with a singular entry where we just talk about that one game and all the mechanics and all the story and all the stuff involved with it that we really enjoyed. So it's like a podcast on a franchise or a particular game that we liked in general. Next up, we have the episodic discussion, the Legacy Edition. Basically, this is an offshoot of the episodic discussion, and it's almost similar to that TV show that G4 did called Icons. That's where I got my inspiration from, where they talked about either game developers or they talked about consoles that created certain eras or people who created certain games in general. That's what the episodic discussion, the Legacy Edition, is, talking about the big wigs of the industry as well as some more notable people in the industry that really got their shine. Like, we could talk about Hideo Kojima one day, or maybe we could talk about stuff like Konami, Capcom, all those particular people that made these games and events happen. Next up is Saturday Night Shootouts. So Saturday Night Shootouts is very similar to Saturday Night Fights in the fact that it's all about multiplayer shooters. It's about shooters. It's about shooting games in general. So we do that every Saturday as well if we're playing something like Uncharted 4 or if we're playing something like Doom. It's all about the shooting games. So next up we have the Cooperative Podcast 0.5 Interviews. Interviews are an extension of the TCP podcast. It's basically us interviewing people like voice actors, game developers, gaming cosplayers, and figureheads around the gaming industry. These people are very important. These people have a lot of stuff going on that they can provide in terms of being informal. So I think it's very important to have interviews as a part of our channel. So this is the cinematic experience. The cinematic experience is where we talk about either video game movies or we talk about things that happen and occur in video game cutscenes, animes, OVAs, comic book movies. This is where you get to see us do audio commentary on these events as we give our impressions on them, as we joke around, play. This is where we watch that sort of stuff. So next we have the cutting room floor, and this is talk about betas or alphas. So as you know, we did a cutting room floor on Resident Evil 4. Resident Evil 4 had multiple iterations before they settled on the final version. So we go back and we talk about these versions that have been shown to the public, like Metal Gear Solid Rising. Originally, that wasn't just Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. It was something else entirely. It was going to have a whole new story for Raiden going back and rescuing Sonny from the Patriots. So it's something like that where we go back and we talk about stuff in the past. Silent Hills, that recently got canceled. So we go back and we talk about how it could have been, what it was, and we give our opinions from there. Next, we have the Rebellion's Edge podcast. Now, this is going to be a little bit difficult to explain, but I'm going to put it in the most simplest terms as I possibly can. So, this podcast is a dual topic podcast. We talk about two entirely different topics to try to keep things fresh and innovative. The first one is usually a compare and contrast discussion. So, for the longest time now, a lot of people have been talking about what's better between Tomb Raider or Uncharted. A lot of people talked about in the past, especially during the PS3 era, what's better, Infamous or Prototype. A lot of people might say, what's better, MGS or Splinter Cell? So we take those games and we try to do a compare and contrast with these big games, see what game did what better, and then we give our overall verdict as the show ends. So now we talk about the next topic on that podcast, which is basically talking about the online multiplayer component. This is where fans voted on this, so I just sort of shoehorned this in at the last minute. But this is basically us talking about some of the online games that we play currently, some of the problems with them, some of the things they could fix, some of the things that are good, like Overwatch, for example. A lot of people play Overwatch, so we talked about how the online functionality for Overwatch worked. We could talk about something like Uncharted 4. We could talk about something like Doom. It's a dual topic podcast, and now there's a new idea added into the equation. It's not going to be a 3-topic podcast, but sometimes we might dabble in a specific genre, like stealth games, for instance. We could give our opinions on stealth games, what could be improved there, how it can bring new things to the market, and give our opinion from there, because every video game has a genre. Just think about it: hack and slash, platformers, first-person shooters, third-person shooters, stealth games. There's a lot of video games with a lot of genres and a lot of content in them, so that is a potential topic that we can also talk about as the first topic between the compare and contrast, and this topic of talking about genres can be interchangeable with the Rebellion's Edge. For the final thing I wanted to address on the Content Explained document is the final podcast that we just came up with. It's something new, and we're going to film for the first episode this week. So I wanted to let you guys know that this document will have some changes involved. If anything changes or if people give us new ideas, then it will be placed in this document, and this document will be in the description below. So let's reminisce. The Let's Reminisce podcast is all about a podcast mostly remembering Saturday morning cartoons, gaming trends that either died out or are still ongoing, top 10s, a particular series that was short-lived within gaming, or the comic book or the cartoon medium. Now, it's pretty much self-explanatory how this is. The main thing is, if you remember trends like online passes, or when they tried to implement a lot of 3D gaming in the PS3 era, that is the one example of some things that they did that people really didn't like too much, or people kind of liked, but it fell off the radar. We can keep it all under at least, I'm looking for maybe like an hour to 30 minutes tops, maybe even 40 minutes. But this is the Let's Reminisce podcast. Is completely new. As I said, top 10s will be included, so top 10 PS2 games, top 10 PS3 games, top 10 PS4, so on and so forth. I kind of want to do a Let's Reminisce of Static Shock, Young Justice, and X-Men Evolution, so that is some things to get excited for as well. We can probably throw in some Batman Beyond as well. Like I said, it can be about gaming trends, top 10s, and all that stuff, but it can also be about cartoon shows that we loved and enjoyed while growing up as kids. That is all the content that we have to talk about today in terms of the TCP podcast. So I'd like to thank you for watching this video. I hope you find it informative, checking it out. If you have any other questions or concerns or suggestions that I should add for future podcasts, and just let me know, and I will get back to you at my earliest convenience. This is Renegade Operative signing off. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and once again, take care. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. This is Renegade Operative here, and welcome to another Cooperative Experience 1-year anniversary update. Now, this is an additional tier that we're adding to the Cooperative Experience 1-year anniversary update video, and this tier is about diversifying into the comic book media. Now, I wanted to personally write a short note on this, and I'm going to reiterate this to you guys. We wanted to get into the comic book media for a long time. As you are well aware, the comic book medium and the diversity with video games where it crosses over goes hand in hand. There's a lot of video games based on comic books, like Spider-Man upcoming for the PS4. You go back and you see stuff like X-Men Origins. You go back and you see a slew of X-Men games from the past that were on the Sega Genesis. You go back and you see games on the PS2 like The Punisher and The Hulk Ultimate Destruction. So as you can plainly see, we are a big fan of comic books, and we're a big fan of video games. Comic books and video games kind of go hand in hand, so there's some experience there. We love comic book medium. I think you can plainly see when you go and check out our video that was recently on San Diego Comic-Con. You'll go and see that a lot of people know their stuff, man. Just some sharp people. Some sharp people that are either guests, like the Superior Artists, or some people that are like Brandon, Arcane Magic 514. He knows this stuff in comic books. I've been in a comic book medium for a while now. I used to collect them as a kid. I was really into stuff like Batman. I liked stuff like The Dark Knight Returns. I was a big fan of Spider-Man back in the day as well. I had all the Ultimate comics. I had all the original Amazing Spider-Man comics, all that stuff. So I'm just letting you guys know, in this short note that after we did the preemptive strike for Captain America Civil War, it was only natural to progress in a fashion, progress to another medium where people can express themselves and give their full opinions in full detail with comics as well as video games. First, I was nervous because usually when you branch out into things, it becomes something of a fear of the unknown, if you will, that you don't know what to expect when you do stuff like this. But I think that ultimately, when it comes to a deeper establishment of what people like, a lot of people enjoy comics in our group. So, to much of my surprise, when we started doing stuff like the preemptive strike and we started doing the special on San Diego Comic-Con, it really caught on fast with what people knew. Obviously, I pride myself on growth when it comes to expanding, so I wanted to let you guys know that going into the comic book medium was the next logical evolution for the TCP channel. Of course, the video games are not going anywhere, but I think I couldn't be any more happier to express my thoughts on this and be happier with my decision. And New York Comic-Con is right around the corner, so trust in my word that we will be covering it and we will be having a good time. Hopefully you guys understand my point, and this is Renegade Operative signing off. Take care. So I'd like to thank you once again for joining this video and enjoying it, and hopefully you really enjoyed it. This is the Co-Operative Experience 1-year anniversary end video, and I'm going to label this section as the future. We don't know what the future may hold for the Co-Operative Experience, but I hope it's a positive one. I like to keep the group in a positive light. I like to continue just aggressively trying to do best for us and what's best for everyone else and try to bring the gamers together. I think that's really important. I think a lot of groups sometimes don't really focus on that matter a lot. Sometimes they just fall apart. Sometimes they just drift apart. Sometimes they always fight. But I think despite our differences, sometimes we can pull it together in the long run and try to aggressively just go out there and bring in new people to our bunch, and maybe these people can lead the torch into the future. Who knows? But that is a future I'm definitely looking forward to. That is a future that I definitely have my eyes open for, and that is a future that is worth savoring. Once again, it's going to come down to the wire, and we're going to try to get more people on board for the experience. It's all an experience, and I want you all to enjoy it just as much as I am right now. So, this is Renegade Operative signing off. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this 1-year anniversary special video, and you take care.